So I just saw The Hunt, the bad one, and oh boy, was this movie dumb as fuck. First of all, this isn't a movie, this is cheap, low-effort political bait. Story-wise, it's just stupid enough to make you laugh and keep you entertained for a few minutes. Filmmaking-wise, it's incredibly poor and mediocre. The film never takes itself too seriously. There are plenty of instances where even the most naive person on the planet can tell that what's happening isn't meant to be realistic, it's just meant to be entertaining. But even so, being retarded and moronic aren't valid excuses for cheap CGI, shitty characters, and the cringiest dialogue that a boomer could come up with.
Climate change is real.
Jesus Christ, this is some high-class cringy shit, and it does not get better as the plot progresses. Every time the action pauses so the characters can have time to talk to each other, what comes out of their mouths is yet another political reference that doesn't mean anything on its own, but since it might entice some sort of reaction from the audience, they decided to put it in the film.
Every year these liberal elites, the globalist cucks who run the deep state.
This is not a good movie. At most, it's enjoyable trash. The first half hour was, I want to say clever, but I'm not sure if I should associate this movie with the word clever, so I'll say it was interesting. It was interesting because we followed several different characters that were being hunted down by psychopaths, not knowing which one was going to turn out to be the protagonist. And that wasn't too bad, it was even a bit creative. The only downside, discounting the blindness of the characters, was the CGI. From the first headshot, you understand they didn't invest a lot of money in the visual effects. And if there's one good thing that may come out of this pandemic, is that shitty, worthless clickbait films like this one won't make their money back. This is a movie made by people who don't care about politics. They just want to enrage the few naive people that do care enough to see these type of movies, so those people can then talk about how this is an example of liberal propaganda, or if they are liberals themselves, an example of conservative propaganda, and give the movie even more publicity. It's neither. This doesn't have any message or meaning. It's just trash. When we do start following the protagonist, she did a good job for most of it. Her character is by far the least obnoxious out of all of them. She wasn't particularly impressive and didn't have much of a personality, but she wasn't annoying, and I liked that about her. There were just a couple of moments where the actress made some weird facial expressions that did not match what her character was doing at all. I'm not even sure if this was stuff that was left on purpose, or if the creators of the film simply forgot or didn't notice it. Whatever the case, I noticed it and thought it was funny. The final fight, this movie has a final fight, it wouldn't be a trashy action film if it didn't, had a strong beginning, but then it kept going, and going, and going, and going, to the point where it seemed like it was going to last until the last minute, and that was pretty annoying. I'm giving The Hunt a 3 out of 10, and I'm also making the prediction that when this year is over, I won't remember that I ever saw this thing. Unless you have a YouTube channel or a blog where you talk about politics and media, you don't have to watch this film, it's a waste of time. Anyway, see you next time.